All right, here we go.
Got it.
Right on, Emmett. Hey, Paul Olbrantz, Clear to Close Brokers, Loan Officer Academy. Sitting here with Emmett Dempsey with Treasure Coast Mortgage. Emmett, what's up, buddy?
What's up, man? What's going on?
I'm really excited for this, man. I wish we didn't chat so much earlier because we went through a lot of amazing things. And I hope we could recreate that
I'm
for
sure.
for this for our group here, because the idea behind the Loan Officer Academy is each week we want to sit with amazing people like yourself who do business maybe a little bit different, that can add value, and hopefully somebody will connect. And the idea is just to help people grow their business where they're currently at. And I like this saying that I have is I want to help people grow beyond their limits, their fears, and live a life beyond that. Because it's really nice on the other side of that, let me tell you.
Yeah.
So Emmett, tell me a little bit about myself. Where are you at? Where are you out of?
Well, I'm in Port St. Lucie, Florida. That's where the New York Mets have spring training. And I grew up here, here in Port St. Lucie. Not many people did. And then after that, I went to college in Pennsylvania, played some Division III football, did ROTC. With the military, got some Army stuff in the background, airborne.
Really?
And then I got my MBA at University of Florida. And then after the military, corporate jobs, and like most people, we didn't start in the mortgage business. We kind of ended up there, and then we'll never leave. So
yeah. You mean you didn't grow up dreaming to be a loan officer
and becoming a YouTube? Shockingly enough. But but once you're here, you never leave. And now my wife is in business with me as well. That's similar to yours, contract processor.
Yep.
So, and then I started with Countrywide, back in 2007, like just as the wheels were falling off. So I got a front row seat to the end of the world as the mortgage market was imploding, and transitioned to Bank of America, where FHA was cool again. And then everybody went to correspondent, and brokers kind of fell out. I was a broker, didn't even know I was a broker. So now I'm a broker owner, started in 2000 of Treasure Coast Mortgage. And that's how we got here.
Why Treasure Coast Mortgage? That's a cool name. You told me about that.
I wonder in retrospect whether I should have named it that. Because it's hyper local. Because this area of Florida is known as the Treasure Coast. I guess a bunch of Spanish galleons sunk with a bunch of gold, and Mel Silver brought it back in the 60s and 70s. Yeah. And or maybe it was earlier than that. But basically, we're known for sunken Spanish ships with gold on them. So this area of the country, the Treasure Coast.
There it is, Treasure Coast Mortgage. So what we're going to talk about today, Emmett, is we're going to talk about YouTube. So there's a lot of topics, and if you're on Zoom and you want to talk about a specific topic, please put it in the comments, because I actually have them up, so we can kind of watch and monitor them and stuff like that. But I'm sure a lot of people, including myself, have started a YouTube channel, made my first video, didn't quite know how to edit it. When it came to a thumbnail, I didn't quite understand even what that was. Then it asked me for a title. Then it asked me for tags. And it asked me for all these stuff. And then I finally just gave up. And I think I have like 10 videos up there. And I think the 34 people are my family and friends. And I'm so grateful for them. So how did you start? Well, why did you start with YouTube?
Well, I started with YouTube because I believe that you have to create content. I'm a disciple of Gary Vaynerchuk. Okay. I started listening to him and saw his message hasn't changed very much. Basically, you need to get out there and create content, because if nobody knows about you, it doesn't matter how good you are at loans. Right. Because it's about marketing these days, not sales. I think that's going to be the mantra going forward, expanding your market share. Because market share is mind share. Where they say mind share is market share. So people have, being top of mind is huge. And being in front of a wave when people search. And the thing about YouTube is it's a search engine. It's the second largest search engine. Really? And just like anything, you study, you watch and learn. We're a copycat business. How'd you learn how to do loans? You talk to a LO who did loans, or watch them, hung out with them. How'd you learn how to ride a bike? It's like, how'd you learn how to do anything? Like you watch somebody else. I mean, it's a copycat world. It's the same way in YouTube. I just watch YouTube. I watched their structure, and just over the years, it's changed the way I've looked at TV and YouTube. Like I look at lighting, I look at cinematography and rule of thirds and all the other cinematography stuff. But how I started was just on this. Well, it was actually on an old iPad. It was an old iPad. Because your phones these days have 1080p cameras front and 4K back. I mean, that's more camera than you ever needed. I mean,
Yeah.
remember those old digital cameras back in the day? They're
Yeah.
obsolete after a year. You
Yeah.
know, so you have more video power. All you need to start is right here.
That's
Okay,
awesome.
so that's number one. So I started with just a some of my old videos, a lot of them, some of them I deleted. And I've never been the guy that was naturally outgoing, and you don't have to be, but you just have to be you, because people chose you as a loan officer for a reason, for whatever reason.
Yeah.
So
Sure.
people like you, so, and you sound how you sound, you look how you look. It ain't going to
Right.
change. I'm not going to
So
be as good looking as Paul Olbrantz,
whoa. Hang on a
how
second.
hard I try, but
Okay,
you're going to look how you look.
Yeah. You brought up two things though. So you brought up what's the rule of 1/3? I don't know what that is.
Rule of thirds. Basically,
Yeah.
it's a simple. Basically, there's 9 boxes. Basically, if you cut a screen in nine ways,
Like your screen. Okay.
so you want to stay center, because you can say center in the box. So there's like top box, middle box, bottom box. So you want to stay centered. Sometimes you'll be off screen, and there's certain intersection points where films place certain things to kind of move your eye. So they'll move the eye on different points of the screen to keep you engaged. The engagements, you're front row center the entire time talking, you're not very engaging. But sometimes if you have B-roll and cutaways, that's why they have cutaways to change your perspective. Whereas, TikTok and Instagram, it had that on extreme, like every second cutaways. But
yeah, you just kind of keep moving and stuff like that. It's people not here in Emmett. It's working fine with Zoom, but not with Facebook. No, oh well. I mean, we can't. Yeah, if anybody knows the answer to that, I really would not.
Just log on to Zoom.
Can you hear me now? Log on to Zoom. Yeah. Let me put the actually, that is what it is. Yeah, good job, Stacy. So the rule of thirds. So what we're talking about is when you do a video, if you just stay in the center, you're not very engaging because your eye's not moving, right?
Yeah.
And so what you're saying is with these B-rolls and stuff like that is when you have things happening in different segments of the video, it keeps people more engaged. Am I understanding that correctly?
Right. Well, that's why your on-screen graphics, as you're talking, things pop up on the screen, and that's in editing. But that's we're going down a rabbit hole here. You asked me how I got started, basically on my phone, and just understanding what YouTube is. YouTube is a search engine. And if you asked about titles and tags and stuff. And if you if you create videos with certain titles that are popular, because what do people search for online? How much home can I afford? What is a loan estimate? All those different things that you get asked every day, start there.
Right. Okay. So right there, you gave us how many, so let's go through that. What's a loan estimate? Those are some great videos. Before we even get there, okay, so you have the 1/3. And then one other thing I wanted to bring back up is copycat. I think that's really important because I think people think that they need to create this brand new content that came out, you know what I mean? And that creates, there's a saying, complexity is the enemy of execution. And if you're trying to create your own content, you just kind of get lost in the details. I heard this one guy, he's a top producing loan officer. He said loan officers are a gang of thieves. And, we take what somebody does and we do it over here. And essentially that's what you're saying is being a copycat, right? Is following what somebody does and just kind of recreate what they do.
Yeah,
is that right?
Exactly. And it doesn't have to be mortgage people. There's a handful of mortgage YouTubers. You can find them out there if you search for that. But just all YouTubers in general, the ones who are doing, calling talking head videos, as I call them. What do their videos look like? What are the tags they're using? What does the lighting look like? You can figure that out. But again, you can get started with just your natural light from your window, which is the natural light's the best light anyway, and just using your phone and doing that with a tripod. I mean, that's how most people get started.
So and then, you're sitting in your room or wherever your office, you have 0 subscribers. And you decide you want to make this YouTube channel, right? Because it's about content, which is amazing, right? Marketing. Do you remember what your first video was? And tell us the journey between your, from creating the channel to 2,700, I think it is, subscribers or somewhere about that. 2,000.
Yeah, plus. I mean, that is a journey because getting for YouTube 1,000 subscribers is like a high watermark to get monetized. So that's a goal. and it happens all of a sudden, all at once, which is a good metaphor for how you do good in your mortgage business. You know, all the activity you're doing, you're putting into the activity bucket, and all of a sudden you have this business. Like, how'd that happen? It's because all this activity you did before. And YouTube is a great metaphor for that. It's just, I think I did, shoot, what was the first video? Yeah, I think I did on FHA. I did a few FHA videos. I did one on homestead in Florida, just different topics. You know, I did one popular one on what does an underwriter do? But my biggest one, you know, it was moving to Port St. Lucie, was moving to my town, which in retrospect, I'm not sure was the best, because YouTube is an algorithm that serves people what they're searching for. So you want to you want to niche down maybe, but that produced the main growth engine as far as views, because people search for that all the time. I'm moving to, you know, people got to moving to your town is a good place to go. But I think realtors will probably do better with that than a loan officer would. But for me, it's just doing the work. And, you know, truth be told, I looked at you know, and to answer some of the questions, do you get business from YouTube? Absolutely. I've had where I've done a YouTube video where it's, I saw you on YouTube, I'm buying, you know, here's my contract. That has happened. Doesn't happen a lot. And the biggest one, to tell you a story, you know, it was a VA guy. He lived in Virginia, moving to Tampa. Tampa's on the other side of the state where I'm at. He was working for the State Department and somehow was making a bunch of money, not being DC and like cool government jobs, right? So, but he saw me on YouTube. He saw my biggest one right now is 2 VA loans at the same time, because you can have multiple VA loans, secondary entitlement, and this it's a special, you know, very niche down topic. You know, but I've gotten a lot of action from that one particular topic. So yeah, so and this was a $600,000 purchase, you know, so a VA loan, you know, it's not nothing. You know, I've gotten plenty of business over the years directly off of, I saw YouTube, I called you, but also just from general, I found you online, because who owns YouTube? Google owns YouTube. So Google's number 1, YouTube's number 2. So when you do like go on incognito and search yourself, and you can see if you have a YouTube channel or search probably your YouTuber or search my name, you can see my YouTube videos come up, and now at the bottom, like your TikToks come up. So content marketing is something that I think everybody needs to do. Just put it out there. You know, I'm a fan of YouTube just because of who owns it. And I just know for me, it's been a great way to get my message and my branding. And it's always something, it's a catalog of sale. It's me, myself. I hire myself, my salesperson 24 hours a day, 365. It's always selling. It's always giving information. Or if I did it, I explain a loan estimate in such a way where I can't explain it as well as I can to each one. I say, here's a loan estimate video, you know, that goes over all the pieces, or a closing disclosure video, you know, something like that. Or what's the loan process? I've already did that video, and it's always evergreen. You know, so it's always getting search traffic. And that's what I think is a great, you know, long-term play, because that's, you know, that's marketing. So when people search you, even if you get referred, people are going to search you, even if, you know, your best realtor that loves you to death, because millennials, they search, because the biggest question I shared in the show notes, like, how do you show up on this device? This is the new television. So how do you show up? Because for me, I have 4 kids, you know, one's 20, but I got 28-year-olds and 6-year-old, and they watch their iPads. What are they watching? They're not watching TV. We grew up watching TV. Why would I even pay for this stuff? It's all on this phone.
My daughter doesn't watch movies. They didn't watch movies anymore. But I think you're right. I think people do search. I think you've really explained extremely well that there is a power in being effective at YouTube, because people get to see who you are, right? I want to help conquer some fears here for people. Was your first, so I've seen your videos. Your videos are absolutely flawless. They're amazing. Did they start out amazing? Was your first video just flawless? And did you do it in, you know, an hour, and it was just a sensation, and you woke up the next night and you had 2,000 plus subscribers and you had leads? Is that how it worked for you?
No, that would be, of course it did. No,
of course, there it is, right?
I had terrible videos, awful. I was horrible on video. And even Mr. Beast, who has 7 million subscribers, no, 7, like multiple millions. He's like
Yeah.
the poster child for YouTube. And he says, you
Yeah.
know, go out and make 100 crappy videos
A
before you
hundred
even.
crappy. Okay. I love
So
that.
he
Go
says
ahead.
it in the YouTube formula book by Daryl Yee. So basically, you're gonna make 100 crapper videos and just do it. You know, doing the
Yeah.
work and getting better because you're gonna have data. And the thing about
Yeah.
YouTube, it's got the best suite of analytics that are out there. So you
Right.
know who's watching, demographics, what time of day they're watching.
Hmm.
It's, you know,
That's
scary and cool at the
crazy.
same time.
So
But
you made go ahead.
no, that's gonna.
And-
You can adjust fire and see what portion of the video they're falling off. You know, and then make improvements along the way. So that's kind of
right.
allows you to kind of do that. It's kind of like if you were to record all your sales calls, you know, which not
Mhm.
everybody does, and then to see, okay, well, where did
Right.
the mood change? Like, am I saying
Right.
certain things?
Hmm.
You know, so you can do that with your YouTube
And you can
videos.
do that in videos. Okay. So let's see if we can help condense this. I put you on the spot here, and I'm sorry. I should have warned you about this.
No worries.
So, you've done 100 plus videos.
Mm-hmm.
Majority of them were crappy. I'm not saying they are. I'm just right. We're just walking through it. What are some advice? What are some of the top when making a video? How could some people avoid some of those learning curves that you went through? What's some advice that you can give them in making a good video that people will watch?
Making a good video that people will watch. So there's YouTube now has two sides of the house. You have long
Okay.
form, old school YouTube, and now YouTube Shorts, which is competing with Reels. What's competing basically TikTok changed the game, and then
Mm-hmm.
YouTube said, "Okay, cool, I'm gonna make YouTube Shorts," and now they just started monetizing those to allow creators to do that. So
Mm-hmm.
you want to have good titles, good searchable titles and tags, and good thumbnails, because
Okay.
ultimately you can have the best video in the entire world, but if nobody finds it, nobody clicks on it, it doesn't matter.
So searchable titles. What was that? What else? I'm making notes here.
Thumbnails, great thumbnails.
Thumbnails, which is
And
something
just
you said. And tags, right?
tags themselves are not as important as they
Okay.
used to be. It's about effectively your title and thumbnail are going to, if you win the click and then the hook.
That's true. Clicking
So
the hook. That's awesome.
yeah.
Okay.
So your title and thumbnail win the
Wow.
click. Once you win the click, your hook your first 30 seconds. So
Okay.
if you're scripting videos, which I recommend even with bullet points, even if
Okay.
you word for word write out your first 30 seconds to keep them engaged and figure out, how to keep them engaged, whether it's just in B-roll or whatnot. That's what I recommend. So as far as
Okay.
strict scripting, you don't have to do that, but
You know what I've noticed is when you get on a video with some of the more popular YouTubers, I would say they give you a nice little hook, then they stop, and then they try to get you to subscribe first, and
bad
then they
idea.
give you the content. I think
Yeah.
so
So
too because it annoys the hell out of me.
exactly. So that's a great segue. That's what not to do. Because when I first,
Right.
that's perfect. Because if you go through my channel and you search through, I mean, if you want, I can share the screen if that works.
Yeah. Can I? Let me see it. Let me give you permission here. Oh,
I was able to.
there you go. Yeah.
Okay.
It's awesome.
So you do videos. You can look
Right.
at some of these popular videos. Okay.
Okay.
So my most popular is understanding the closing disclosure. From 2 years
Right.
ago. Here's my moving to Port St. Lucie. So you can see
30,000 views, man. That's crazy. That's great.
yeah. Because here's FHA, which is a very popular term, like on YouTube.
Right.
And I need to remake the videos. Obviously, this is
Right.
from my last company in Geneva. That's how old they are,
Right.
But this is by popular videos.
Right.
So if you do recently uploaded, you can see the very first ones. Because me and my kids at Flying Pan and jumping in a trampoline park, they're cool, but I don't know how well they pull for mortgage stuff. But anyway, so yes,
question for you though,
sure.
On the titles, right? The searchable titles.
Mm-hmm.
How would someone know what a good searchable title is? What does that even mean? Because I see you have, you're on and then the thumbnail, the title, right? Where do you find good searchable titles? What does that even mean?
You can search for the things that your clients are asking you. How
Right.
much you can go to Google Trends, and there's a bunch of a keyword. Okay, there's a bunch of keyword things that you can go to. Answer the
Okay.
public, you know, answer the public.
Wow. Okay.
Answer the public. You can do enter a topic, brand, or search. Mortgage. Okay. Here's some questions about how mortgage
That isn't cool.
calculator, how mortgage companies make money, will mortgage rates go up?
So
Can
those are the
mortgage
most
payments?
popular things that have been searched.
Yeah. Where are mortgage rates be in 5 years? Where are mortgage rates be in 2023? Yeah. So that's just the word mortgage. That's the questions people are asking,
That's
so
incredible.
yeah. So
Awesome.
there's a whole bunch of, like, we can go down a rabbit hole about chat GPT and AI and all other stuff, but that's a whole other thing. But
Yeah.
let's focus on
But this is
YouTube.
good though. Yeah, this is good right here because this will give people right here. If you need, ideas for videos, answer the public
Yeah.
will give you right that title. So there it is. There's 80 questions. There's 80 potential videos right there.
Yeah. So there's
Okay.
comparisons here. Mortgage versus deed of trust, mortgage versus rent versus own as old as time,
Right.
mortgage versus
Right.
rent calculator. This is what people are
Wow.
searching for.
Wow.
You just create the title, okay,
Yep.
cool. And then figure out how the video script goes, do like 5-point essay. Like that's what, think back to high school, like
Yeah.
5-paragraph essay, and
Yeah.
just write a bullet points and film it.
There you
So
go, man. Hey, I appreciate that, and that's great. And so that's where you would take those like mortgage versus rent, right? And you
mhm,
would literally make that the title. So when people search that, because that's most likely what they're going to search,
mhm,
your title that now you have a title that will come up, right?
right.
Then it becomes about the visual, the thumbnail.
Talking about the visual, you want a title, and this is how to find general topics. Then there's
Right.
specific YouTube things. I use vidIQ. You might have heard of TubeBuddy. I use vidIQ. This will tell me what my competitors are doing, what my channel is doing last 7 days. Daily ideas, when a mortgage is considered dangerous, rate predictions. vidIQ is a keyword tool, and
Now,
top keyword opportunities.
do you have to pay for this?
You
Or is
do,
this
but there are some free versions. Yeah.
okay?
But vidIQ, I really like, because it helps to look at what your competitors are doing. Because I have, Jennifer Beeston. She's out in California. She's awesome creator. She does single takes, like she does one take, but she's naturally talented that way. Then you have
Yeah.
these other ones that I've researched. The best one, so you'll see, is this guy Cal Seagraves. He's just a natural. He's got over 140,000 subscribers,
Wow,
and
that's crazy.
you
That's
want to look
great.
at what they're doing to copycat league. Look at his popular videos,
Mhm.
FHA, first time home buyers.
There
You
it
know,
is.
that's, and basically, you might not be able to copy his style. He's very smooth and great
Yeah.
guy. I've talked to him several times.
Yeah.
But that's how he. And then, but you look at, again, look at their journey. When I go
Right.
back and look at his first video, we're not that good. And
Right.
that's the story of any content creator.
Right.
Like his first video is walking around his neighborhood. You know,
Right.
but he's just a natural good content creator. But as
Awesome.
far as, you know, so that's kind of what I
Yeah. Thank
study.
you, Emmett. That's good,
Yeah.
man. That's awesome. It's also know that everyone started kind of where we're at, right? Not very good.
Yeah.
Not you, me, right? Not very good at videos. Okay, go ahead.
Everybody,
I'm sorry.
everybody
So,
did. Like,
so how do you? Yeah. So Stacy asked this too, and I was going to say this. So tell me about. So one thing you noticed about my YouTube channel is that my thumbnails are not good, and it's so funny because I thought they were so amazing, and I just don't understand how you create thumbnails. Um, can you just go over how you would make a thumbnail for a video? Like maybe is it too hard? Maybe it would be. Yeah, just tell us how you do that.
um, Canva is the fair haired girl these days. I can share again.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah,
I can
please. That'd be amazing.
Yeah. So this is from my master. So the latest thumbnail is just this. You can start and start with YouTube thumbnail.
Okay.
Okay. You just do that. What you want, and it gives you a lot of models. And again, going back through your competitor models.
So YouTube has a thumbnail maker?
YouTube does not.
Oh,
This
where did
is
you go? Where, was that Canva? I'm so sorry.
this is Canva.
Okay.
This is Canva.
Forgive me.
Yeah. So this is
And
Canva.
so you can pick that one out right there, that like one of those, like 1 million views in 2 weeks. And then you can put your own stuff there.
Yeah. I mean, you can, it's basically moving this, creating your own
That's
pictures.
hilarious.
Yeah. So there's this website, it's called remove.bg.
Okay.
You can upload an image and remove the background. Do I have a good picture? Let me see. Here's a realtor of mine. So see, remove their background. So here's
wow.
Upload an image from, where is it? This is my videos. So like I was telling you my first,
yes,
my first, now when I start a video, I start off going like this, just doing different poses. And maybe you find a thumbnail that you like. This is just one of my poses that I did, so I just take that and I can now bring that into Canva, and then in your uploads, and it's kind of just what I did, so now I can move myself here, what you want to do is put yourself on the right-hand side, because when you look at YouTube videos, you can see how the time shows. So that way that's a good place to be, and just, you don't have to put the whole title of it, but it's just something that'll catch them, see the bright colors, you want to change the saturation. See, you make yourself way more tan than you really are, so it's just,
I need it right now. Yeah. That's funny.
Yeah. So you just change all that, and remember, this canvas is what they're going to see little on their phone. So you got to keep that in mind too. You can see this guy's giant there, so you want to take him out and just make yourself giant here. So you take up that screen, and then you can use that and say, yay, thumbnail. Yay, cool thumbnail. It's really very simple. Awesome. Canva makes it so easy.
Wow. I have to tell you, I know Danielle did that. I didn't know how she removed the background from our videos. I spent hours trying to do it, and that was so simple. I so appreciate that, Emmett. So remove.org. So I'm going to put all these links.
Remove.bg.
Remove.bg. I have it. You see my notes are all over the place here. Now, can you do me a favor? Can you go back to one? Let's take that one, the 2023. No, let's go to, that one. And so you have the title, then you have the details. Can you go to edit it and show us how you did all that background stuff? Does that make sense what I'm asking? Did you put, go ahead. Perfect.
Okay. So this is after I started in 2018. So I've been doing this for a little while. Okay. So don't judge where I'm at now. I edit myself. Can I use the editor? I've hired some editors. And I might do so again just for time savings. I know Video Husky and VidChops are services that for monthly fee will edit a certain amount of videos. But I've just learned how to get these things here.
Follow Emmett right there.
Yeah. So those are just layered, and I got those from Envato Elements. And and again, I've just learned how to do them. You can customize them, but again, you can find those you don't have to recreate the wheel. They're already there. There's templates there, and I just took the template, put my name in, and slapped it on as mine.
Now, so where did you get those from, Emmett? I'm sorry.
Envato Elements.
Envato Elements.
Envato Elements. So they have a lot of stuff for Premiere Pro, but ultimately your editors will have all this stuff. You don't want to deal with it. You can, your editors have all the stuff, all the B-roll. But for me, it's, maybe one day I'll get there, but I just like that creative control to do that initially, hopefully when I get that big enough to do that. But so that's what I do for theirs. To answer, let me see, I'm gonna stop the share. Somebody asked about how I do a video now. Lately I've been doing what's called batch filming, which basically you have a bunch of videos scripted, you go in and film, and then you edit. That's a way to stay efficient and to stay, forward. Cause ultimately you'll burn out as you have to say, oh crap, I got to do a video today and I got to
Right.
film it and then edit it. And then it's just, the process can be long. You want to try and simplify the process best you can. So, if you're doing one video a week, you can easily knock out 2 or 3 videos and then have those, one day, 2 or 3 videos the other day, and be ahead, weeks ahead, so that's just a good way to do it.
Now, do you use music in the background? Sometimes they have low music.
Yes.
Is there any
I just started.
particular music that you use, or just curious?
No, there's something called epidemic sound. What you got to be careful with YouTube is copyright strikes. So you can't just use whatever you want to use. Epidemic Sound has a pretty good catalog of background music, and I edit using Premiere Pro. So I've learned on Premiere. And how did I learn that? I went on YouTube.
There you go.
It's all right there. The amount of information for me is it's you can reach millions of people for nothing. Like, I'm waiting for somebody to take it away from me. Like, this is not true, right? I mean, but that's the power of YouTube, to do that.
Hey, Emmett, can we go back to your page real quick? Can you show us your page real quick?
Sure.
Sorry, because I want to kind of just talk about a few other things here too, because I noticed, I mean, you have a huge page. This is the Emmett Show.
Yeah.
Excuse me if you guys can hear Tony Robbins in the background. That's because that's what we're doing here. Tony Robbins Business Mastery. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
So are you gonna share your screen so I can go to your?
Oh shoot! I thought it was sharing. My bad.
Sorry.
Right.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. No problem. All right. So can you scroll to the top? Right. And so on the very top, right? So it looks. I mean, what I'm trying to do here is share people. Okay, you don't have a YouTube page, so you can go create your own YouTube page. So on the very top, looks like you have your profile picture. Which again, now we know how to make through Canva. We know how to cut you out using, let's see, what's it called? It's called
remove.bg. But this is called channel art. That's all.
Okay.
That's a whole different topic. So, and
so
it's
tell
got
me,
different,
please.
But Canva, you can do it in Canva. So you get the the custom size. So you do.
How do you find the custom size?
On YouTube channel art, YouTube banner. There it is, 2560 by 1440.
Perfect.
So you create a blank one.
All right.
And there's other YouTube videos about this. There's like a YouTube thing here. Where is it? Apologize here.
No, take your time.
Go through. No, when I see it. Dun, 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 dun. Where is that? I haven't missed it. Yeah, there it is.
I mean, I love it, man. You can see the progression of all your photos, everything. That's awesome.
Yeah, but here's a good example. Basically, this is on desktop and mobile. Okay. This is if the tablet and the desktop max. And you won't see this unless you're on TV, but a lot of people watch YouTube on TV. So, so you have to make a logo that fits in the model, so you can gotta have your background image, you can make that.
See. And then you also don't want things cut off. Because I think some people's, are cut off too.
Yeah, there's YouTube videos that you can find that'll walk you through this process. But basically, that's how it is. So you just keep it in there. Now, this one, and on my channel, I actually pay somebody on Fiverr to do. Okay. So they created that for me. I'm going to update this. There's a lot of simple ones, so you can just again go to your competitors and see what they have,
what they're doing.
So this guy, so here's Matt the mortgage guy. He's a broker. So you view his channel. Here's how he has his stuff. That's
perfect. Yeah.
And then there's When the House You Love is very simple. So mine a lot of times it's just very simple.
Right.
But also really know how to do it so it's in the right format.
Okay. Man, some great stuff here. So we have some great resources on how to make thumbnails, right? The power of YouTube. We talked a lot about, you should see my notes. I'm so excited, especially for some of these little cheat sheets. I think the coolest one is Answer the Public. Is that what it's called? Right?
Answer the
Answer the
Public
Public,
is pretty awesome.
right? I think the biggest thing too you've talked about, just to recap, is copycat. So if you want to start your own channel, please don't make complexity the enemy, right? Just go somewhere that's been successful, follow what they're doing, and recreate it. Is that essentially what we're saying here?
Yeah, I mean, so it's just
I mean,
looking at your
I
most
would.
popular videos. I mean,
Okay.
for instance, I'm looking at where's this is it. So if you were to look at When the House You Love, like Shahida Hill is it does really good too. I think she's a realtor, but
Mm-hmm.
this guy, if you look at Kyle's page, you can search his videos. Um, and he has it structured. Basically, he has four main mortgage types, and then his YouTube shorts, and then his popular
Shorts, yep.
videos.
Okay.
So that's how your homepage is structured. But if you look at his videos, you can sort by most popular views.
Mm-hmm.
1 million views,
Wow.
700.
It's
So
FHA, huh? That's what it
yeah,
is.
FHA pulls big. So that's on my to-do list, is doing a
Right.
walkthrough video of FHA. His is amazing. And you don't have to
Mm-hmm.
copy, even if you just take his title and
Totally.
do it on
Right.
your own.
Right. Right. And I
And
think I think so as professionals though, I think what happens for me is I think, wow, there's so much to know about FHA, but I don't believe most people don't even know you can do an FHA loan with little as 3.5% down, just kind of like what he was saying, right?
yeah,
As I think we think it's so basic, but some of the questions I get are not basic. I mean, they're just like, wow, you don't know that. The
yeah,
truth is the general public doesn't know this.
right. Yeah. So, so there's that. And then his first time home buyers. First time home buyer is a big call out in
Okay.
titles. So you can just
Mm-hmm.
search out what they're doing. Here's a big
Mm-hmm.
one too. I know, having advertised on Google, people always ask, how much home can I get afford? How much home can I afford? How much can I
Right.
get approved for? And then
Mm-hmm.
we know, as it's DTI. Okay. But they don't know that. And here's a
Yeah.
walkthrough. Okay. You make $50,000. Here's how much home you can buy.
Right.
That's a
That's
winnable title.
awesome.
And then the video keeps him. I mean, Kyle's naturally great on camera.
Right.
He's
Right.
very smooth, and and people like that personality. But people will buy your personality, and some won't. Some will,
Right.
some
Right.
won't. So what?
Right.
So you want to work the ones that like you,
That's
but
great.
ultimately you're putting out good content and good information that resonates, and that that follows those rules. You have a lot of logo stings, and to give you an example, let me go through one of my let's just scroll through. Where did I stop doing that? Here's my FHA loan.
Mhm.
Where's the first? See? See, I did a little logo sting. People were like, click off these days.
Oh, so
So
that's what, yeah. So you don't do that anymore, right?
no, I get right into it.
Yeah, I like that too. Because when I search, I get really frustrated when I'm searching for videos
Mm-hmm.
and I click on something and it turns into a 30-second advertisement.
Yep.
It's like I just kind of want my information and then I'm off to the next. It's almost
Yeah,
like our attention spans are so short because
they
of all
are.
this social media. I mean, how long do you think, and I think you said this earlier, I just want to recap it. How long do you think it takes before we lose somebody's interest?
I'd say within the first 30 seconds,
Yeah,
sometimes as high
like I
as the
said,
first 5 seconds I've seen. So
right.
here's the latest one I did.
I can't hear it though.
Okay. Okay. So I'm changing it with some B-roll.
Mhm. You know, I
I said,
noticed that too. I noticed that when people are talking more and more, we're seeing those B rolls come through. And the B roll is right when you said first time home buyer, it went off you, and then like some pictures of the house. It's like
yeah,
it's your eyes are still being moved.
yes. Yeah. So that was a
Got
deal.
you.
So,
Where do you
okay.
get those B rolls from?
From Storyblocks, there's a few online that are free, like pexels.com that has some B-roll, but Storyblocks,
Pexels?
Pexels, Pexels, also on Storyblocks is where I get that from. That's got stock videos. There's a bunch of them out there.
Wow. Okay.
Um,
Oh my God.
looking through the questions here.
I mean, you should see my desk. I have so many notes, and I think I'm going to email them to you to make sure I'm all right before I post them in the group because this is phenomenal stuff.
Okay.
I can't. I'm
Well,
so
thank you.
grateful for this.
No,
Yeah.
I could talk about this all day. Okay, so about common question
Oh.
about length of the videos. Now, for 16:9 long form old school YouTube, you should aim for 10, 12 minutes.
Uh-huh.
And
12 minutes.
it's the antithesis of saying, wait a minute, we're in a TikTok world, right? But people go to
Yep.
YouTube to learn.
Hmm.
They go to YouTube to learn. And having a 12-minute video, like one day you'll get monetized. They want at least 8-minute videos to sell ads on. And what do these algorithms want? They need inventory to sell stuff on.
Hmm.
They need inventory to sell ads. So if you're giving it 10, 12 minutes, I mean, look at Kyle's ones. I mean, some of his best videos are like an hour long. So,
Jeez.
shorter is not better.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. I say, yeah, here's Kyle. So this is 33 minutes, 49 minutes, 49 minutes. Like, you don't have to be
Wow.
shorter all the time, so for normal, so you can go shorter. You can just repurpose any reels to your short feed, but like, don't feel that you want a smaller video. Try and, expand a little bit to at least 10, 12 minutes.
Gotcha. And then Pete had a question here for you too about being licensed. Do you need to be licensed in every state to be able to post a video?
No,
I don't think so at all.
no.
That's a great question.
How often to post? I read regular
Yeah.
posting is important. And Stacy, I was just, telling Paul, but basically I feel in 2022, I definitely didn't do as much as I should have because I've gotten some traction, gotten some deals and closings, and then you stop doing those activities. And that's
Right.
analogous to anything in the mortgage business. Like, you just stop doing what works. And I like, yes, posting more, especially now, is important. I read as much as 3 times a week. And so I'm trying to push myself to do that. And I plan on doing that with some batching and some good editing. But yes, I mean, at a minimum, they say at least once a week. I've seen,
Right.
between 1 to 3 times a week.
Okay. And then what kind of I just got emailed a question. What kind of equipment do you use?
Like I said, when I first started, I had an iPad, front facing iPad, and your
Mhm.
front facing is good enough. You just got to know where to look on that because you have
Mhm.
to look at the dot and not away. It'll look weird in
The
video.
green dot. Yeah.
Yeah, so you got to look at the green dot. So yeah, so you
Right.
can start with a tripod. So right now I use a Sony camera. I've since graduated to that because I just learned how to do a Sony camera. So this is a point and shoot camera, and it's got a flip screen, and this is a microphone called a directional microphone. And
Right.
what you'll see is your audio is much more important than your video, they say, because you can have a lapel
Yeah.
mic. And so you sounding good and being in a good room is good. And as far as lighting goes, I have a light on me all the time, that ready to go. But ultimately, your window and your natural light is the best light
Okay.
source that you can get.
But why do you use that camera versus like an iPhone?
Um,
Just curious.
that's just me because I can get much
Okay.
better shots. I'm just a camera nerd that way. You
Okay.
if you can definitely do it that way with a selfie stick. In fact, this little thing here is it's a selfie stick, which you can have at all times, and I can screw this camera in at all times and go anywhere with it.
Yeah.
Whereas I've had in the past, I've had much heavier setups and have since traded in those cameras.
Right.
So I'm complicated myself, so that's just on
Right.
me. But I feel my video quality has gotten better with
Mm.
with the camera, but ultimately phones keep getting better too. So
Right.
it's a very neck and neck thing.
Yeah, because I've gotten, it's interesting that you say audio is much more important than the video, is because I've had people, my friends, reach out to me, say that my audio is not that great, and that's something that I need to work on. I'm putting you on the spot here, and I wouldn't expect you to know this, but why not
No,
ask you
please.
because you're you. What would be a reasonable microphone for me to buy for my desk to make videos on? That would give me good quality.
What are you using for your camera?
For my camera, I use so I'm not, of course, not in my office, just a little webinar, a camera.
Okay. Yeah, I
Shoot,
mean this
I don't know.
this microphone here is an ATR 2100. It's like $25.
Okay.
You know, there's some pretty good mics that are on to me on the desktop, you know, that
Mhm.
like the Shure SM7V, that's like a podcast mic. This is podcast quality mic. You know,
Right.
so
21
and it's
bucks.
yeah, it's
That's
much more
great.
inexpensive.
Okay.
You get the stand on Amazon on stage.
Hmm.
Um, you know, and this is a USB. You know, there's
Okay.
some complicated ones that have this little port thingy here. I don't even remember what it's called. You know, but
Yeah.
that's a lot of podcast mics have, and a mixer. That just gets crazy. But this is a
That's too
plug and
much
play
call.
USB
Yeah.
mic. You know,
Yeah.
so why complicate it? So that's for good audio, but also just your lapel mics that just go
Right.
through your shirt and clip on. That's just as good. I mean,
Hmm.
the way that these mics are, they're pretty inexpensive.
Yeah.
They'll plug into your phone. They have these little adapter things. You can just listen to the lightning. You know, so
Yeah.
it's just
Oh, look
it's
at that.
adapters.
Okay.
You
Oh,
know,
that's really cool.
so just these adapters here.
Yeah.
They're pretty expensive. So it's just if you're going to use your phone, you can use that. This is what's called a directional mic, and you just talk into it. It probably don't need this puffy thing on it. This is for going outside,
Mhm.
for the wind. But I've
Oh,
gotten great audio because it's directional. Because if I'm talking to it, that's a good enough mic
right.
because my office is pretty well insulated, so it's fine.
Okay. Man, that's incredible stuff. So let me just walk this through here because I don't want to lose I can this vision here. So you're a loan officer. You're
Mm-hmm.
sitting down, you're creating your first video. If you don't know what to do, just go on YouTube, maybe watch a few and get an idea, right?
Mm-hmm.
You do the bullet points, maybe 5 or 6 bullet points, what you want to talk about,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yep.
You make sure you have your camera on, you have a good audio so it can hear you. And then I use Camtasia, right? So Camtasia is really easy for me.
Camtasia's
So what I
great.
do, so I just start recording and it's rolling. I don't have to, it just goes, right? And then what you should do just to start creating your thumbnail, I love this, by the way, is you just kind of do a quick poses for the
Yeah.
thumbnail,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Do you start I've heard people say never to introduce yourself when you start your video. And then other people's do. Do you have any thoughts on that? Because people already know who you are because of your title and stuff like that. I
Not
don't know.
always. Remember, the vast majority of
Hmm.
your viewers are non-subscribers. Okay,
Right.
so we use
Mm.
subscribers as a vanity metric,
Okay.
whereas you have to, yeah, you don't have to introduce yourself, but ultimately give them what they wanted. You earned a
Right.
click, give them why they clicked. You didn't say, clicked on this and say, hey, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel, yada, yada,
Oh,
yada. I'm Emmett
yeah.
Dempsey. Subscribe, like, yay. Okay, great. Next. No,
Yeah. Right. Right.
it's all about
Hmm.
scripting is very important. So
Right.
what you want is watch time, and keep
Right.
them watching. So
Mhm.
and that comes into how you structure it. So basically, on this video, we're going to talk about my 2023 yada yada. Cool. Stay
Right.
tuned to the end, and then maybe a minute in, you can start asking for that, or
Right.
I use the little screen things that pop up that say subscribe. I don't say
I
it, but
like
it
that.
does it. you
Right.
know that's one thing.
And then, and so it's very important though. I love that because that's also engaging, right? So then
Mhm.
you go through your 5 points. And then when you're done, you want to start adding those storylines, those B reels, right? Am I
Mhm.
getting this right?
Yeah,
And
I
we'll
mean,
put
no, I mean, B-roll is a good way. It's a
Mhm.
good way to break up the monotony.
Right.
It's a good way to, cut away. Like I have, in the military videos, I have a scene from Band of Brothers. When they
Yeah.
talk about thank you for your service. Like, I like
Yeah.
pop culture stuff, and you can use movies. It's called fair use, as long as you're not
Okay.
trying to, show it as your own movie. You can use
Right. Right.
those clips.
So you
And
can use movie clips, huh?
you can, yeah, and you not
Oh, okay.
whole
I didn't
ones
know
as
that.
long as it's transformative. There's the
Yeah.
fair use is a whole different thing, but look up fair use. But yeah, so
It's
that's that.
awesome.
So
Okay.
your your analytics and your audience, I can share a screen again.
Yeah, please.
YouTube, so I have, unique viewers, 8,000 unique viewers. And for me, I'm not growing, so I'm down. So I need to post more content. I need to do more activity. Like I'm down. But, your audience comes from, United States. It shows, non-subscribers.
Shows all of it, huh?
Not subscribed. 98% are not subscribed.
Okay.
And you can also have from sources content. So right now, my 60% from YouTube search, which is good for starting off.
Wow.
But the biggest thing is search and suggested. So if you're doing those like videos with other competitors, already popular videos, they say what to watch next. And then even in YouTube, you kind of point, instead of saying, like, subscribe, and never say you're going to end the video. Basically say, hey, okay, that's it. Cool. Next, and then they click off. You basically ended it abruptly. YouTube wants you to watch this video, and that'll go. So
I'm sorry. So at the very end, right? Say that one more time, because now you're reminding me, like,
the last 20 seconds of a video will have what's called the end screen. It'll have, say, subscribe or whatever the next video to click on. Because what does YouTube want? They want you to stay on the platform. 100%. That's all they all want. They never want you to leave. They want you to be a prisoner to their platform. Yeah. In so many words. So that's where they want. So here's some end screens, very few views from end screens. So I need to do a better job that way. But
so you have to create an end screen. I'm so sorry. That's so ridiculous. I just don't know.
You can create an end screen. Most of the time you just point and do your own.
Right.
Yeah, because I think we do on this one. I had here's my 2-1 buy down, which everyone talks about. How do you site with Mortgage Coach Share? It's the last 20 seconds. So that's an end screen. That's an old school end screen. Like, hey, I'm talking, but click on this one now.
That's awesome. And you created that?
I created.
Is that right?
Yeah. So I created that background in Canva, but I'm not so sure that's one way to do it. You can kind of point to that one and talk about it, and that way it's your branding. I mean, just,
I gotta tell you, I've never even heard of an end screen before. That's awesome. Okay.
Yeah, so automatically it's the last 20 seconds of your videos are going to pop up an end screen to keep them going to the next video, going into, say, hey, watch this next video, talk about this, so you can choose the video that you want, all that stuff. So
unreal. I've probably learned. I'm a little overwhelmed right now because that's amazing stuff. I'm so glad this is recorded so I can go back and have access to all these sites. But I think the biggest thing people need to know is just make the videos. They're going to be crappy, right? We talked about, getting into it for the first 30 seconds, having your script out, just the bullet points, the end screen, all that storylines. I was going to ask you, what are 5 reels, 5 easy videos people should make?
Yeah.
The truth is, you've kind of answered that. There's a million places to get it, right? You go to that website, go look at somebody else's. Am I missing something, Emmett? I'm so overwhelmed right now. This has been so amazing, man.
I mean, if you want to grow a channel, see what basically you have to ask yourself, who has the audience that I want? Like, why do we call realtors? I mean,
and you know what? Stacy just asked a question, Emmett, and I think even I know the answer to, but I want to see yours. Do you tie in your other socials like Instagram, like repurpose the content, like and I think what
depends on what you mean by tie in. Like, basically, I'll soft sell when I open the video and I flash my Instagram handle. Like, I've had some videos where it's at the top my Instagram. I don't say, hey, go follow. I don't give them too many things to do.
Right.
Who does have the audience? Yeah. Who does have the audience we want? Those content creators who have that searchable content, who are doing videos on major million view topics on FHA, on USDA, like those, that's what people are searching for.
Do you have a blog?
Do I have a blog on my website? I do have a blog. and I have tied it into it's on my I have a Lead Pops website, and I just create a blog post referencing, it's a backlink to the video, and I'll share it in my Facebook group and Facebook in general. But I'm trying to get to a point where I do so much content where I get suggested with other top videos. Basically, it's kind of like you're drafting them, like those big content, so that they watch their video and they say, hey, this looks pretty cool. Let me check this out. So to earn a click to get suggested with other people in your niche, as they call it, in your industry that have that. And then vidIQ tells you who your competitors are, because they have here, let me show screen here. Subscribers overview.
That vidIQ it's crazy. I love the daily ideas. That is just unreal.
Yeah. So you have your competitors, like here's top channels your subscribers are subscribing to. Like it's insane. Like all these other people, not necessarily, there's some real estate investment. So you can talk about maybe about buying a home for rentals or house hacking. Bigger pockets is all about real estate. So I need to focus on maybe some DSCR and house hacking investments, but that also has, general, here's Joe Rogan clips. So they're not all, relevant.
Right.
Some of these big ones that talk, like Andre Sheik, he's got a pretty good channel. He talks about a lot of the housing stuff, but there's also a lot of negative housing too. That where is it? There's supposed to be 127 million subscribers, but
people love negativity. I tell you, that sells.
Yeah, well, Mr. Beast is cool, but like there's one that's called Reventure Consulting. This guy's been calling for the housing crash for years. I thought they were on here.
I mean, eventually something's going to happen, right? That's just how life works. And it's like those people are going to be like, I told you so. Like I saw one headline in there, one that stuck out to me out of all of your page. The one headline that stuck out to me, I don't know if you caught that, was China has 10 years left.
Yeah.
I'm like,
so
wow,
this guy here, and all his videos is bottom, meltdown, blah, blah, blah. And then like everything he's been proven wrong time after time, but yet he's got 300,000 subscribers. And
that's great.
And when you click on his videos and read the comments, that's what your buyers are asking. They're watching.
Maybe we should take his what do you call it? His titles and put a positive spin to it with actual facts. That'd be a good way.
These cities are about to crash. Top 10 housing bubbles. I mean, that's the thumbnail. That's what they're selling. It's all flames and bleh.
Yeah.
But that's like why people are calling. But you can see a pattern. Like it's his face. It's, earning the click, but it's provocative headlines and danger and blah. But he's a good YouTuber. He's a good for what he's pitching. Like I don't know what what you're consulting on, but there's a negative to it too. So like I try and put out positive. Hey, what's going on? What people are searching for.
Awesome. That's awesome, man. Let me see. I think we have one more new comment here. Let's make sure. Shorts. Yeah,
absolutely.
How's that affect
absolutely the so the way I do it, I'm a part of Neil Dinger's content academy, and he's more for Instagram, so I'm also doing organic reels, posting to reels, repurposing to TikTok. And I got off the path on because I thought TikTok was the latest and greatest, and I studied TikTok and I took focus away from YouTube. But ultimately, I think TikTok is just a dumping ground for your short form, because that is such a what's better, 1 million subscribers on YouTube or 1 million followers on TikTok? It's not even close. YouTube subscribers are more like your average YouTube viewer who watches so much of your content. So because even so, when you look at your dashboard, your analytics in the last 30 days. 2,700 views, 152 hours. How about 152 hours? Yeah. And I'm disappointed. Like how much is 152 hours that somebody watched this mug? Like that just blows my mind. It always has. Like somebody's actually watching me that much. Yeah. But people are.
That's amazing. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
that's incredible.
like this is, you know,
I mean, still 10 plus subscribers,
yeah, I mean, I should have
right?
more, but basically, you know,
Right.
I need to get to work and
Right.
and do more video because that I have to give the
Um,
overlords what they want because somebody else will. You know, that's the
man,
bottom line.
Emmett, this has been absolutely incredible, man. You know, we slopped for about an hour. I could talk to you for days because we can keep going down rabbit holes. Is there something I've asked this before? I don't mean to repeat the question, but is there something I'm missing? This is such valuable information, and people really want to create a YouTube channel and have videos. Is there something I didn't ask you or we didn't discuss
Well,
that could really help people?
let me just
Mhm.
discuss Stacy because there's a confusion about shorts. You know, because
Sure.
shorts are now on a separate algorithm.
Okay.
When they first rolled out, they rolled out, you know, haphazardly and they did affect some stuff, but there's a different short shelf. If you look at YouTube itself, it's got a different section for shorts.
Right.
You know, so I have shorts and now eventually they'll have podcasts too. But there's your long form video. And a lot of times they'll watch your shorts to get thrown over to your long form. So don't ignore your long form, you know, have some shorts that are cool, you know, snippy topics that are, you know,
Right.
more edited faster, like a
Right.
TikTok type thing.
Mhm.
But don't be afraid to make shorts.
How long are shorts?
Shorts are less than a minute and have to be
Less than a minute?
vertical. Have to be so if you do a 16:9 and try to make it a minute, that's not a short. That's a
Right.
normal video. But if
Okay.
you do you know, it has
It's
to be
16
vertical
by
video,
9. So
has
you're
to
saying,
be
where's my phone? I don't even know where my phone is.
yeah,
Yeah,
you
my
can't have
phone's
it this
gone.
way. It's gotta be this way.
It's got to be up. Okay.
So it's gotta be
Okay.
this way.
Oh, look at that little guy.
That's
All
little
right.
girl. She's
Little girl, I'm sorry. Oh, you're right. I'm so
yeah.
silly.
So yeah, so it has to be, you know, long form, less than a minute. That's a short.
Awesome, man. That's awesome. Emmett, I'm gonna recreate. Oh, thank you, Emmett. Yeah, you, Stacy, you're amazing. I got a lot of work to do, and I'm really grateful, man, that you took the time out of your day to really help us be better at YouTube. Give us the tools, the websites, and all that stuff to go to create the thumbnails and stuff. You have no idea how often, how much time I wasted trying to create a thumbnail. I do them. You know how I do my thumbnails now? I do them on
Okay.
Zoom. I start Zoom, I get a background, I
It
do the
works.
pose, and I press snap. But I don't know how to get all the titles on there. So now I do. I'm really grateful for you, Emmett. Thank you so much for your time, buddy. And
Appreciate it.
yeah, man, I hope to see you in
Thanks for
Florida
that.
coming soon.
Yeah, I'll see you soon. Hall of Fame.
That's awesome, buddy. All right, man, I'm gonna stop recording. And I don't even know how to stop recording. There we go. Stop recording.